was Army Air Corps. But we had to create an Air Force, and Harry Truman did that. Of course, we're proud of the 1940s Stuart Symington, our first Secretary of the Air Force. But they've been flying and flying the Blue Angels, and it's been estimated that about 550 million people have watched their aerial demonstrations, which is just always is jaw-dropping when you capture them up close and see them. And it's become almost a recruitment vehicle for the Air Force, as much as a Tom Cruise movie would be for Maverick or something, or Top Gun. People look at that and say, wow, I would love to fly one of those planes. It was great to see the French aerial demonstration there too, reminding us of what dear and close ally France has been forever, and the Dutch are our first original ally and friend. So it was smart to be starting with France and the Netherlands.
Douglas, stand by for us for just a moment here. I want to bring the Admiral back in. We just saw, a few moments ago, we just saw another aircraft. There it is.
Yeah, we sure did. That's a V-22 from our United States Marine Corps. Truly a workhorse for our Marines, and how they deliver. Fantastic to have that World War II memorabilia here flying overhead.
Look at that vantage point, and again, there's another look at the Eagle, the star of the show so far. Some 295 feet tall, we were told earlier. And we should also point out that there you go. Wow.
Well, it needs an introduction. It's America's tall ship. Hello.
239 crew members, as I mentioned there, 295 feet tall. And there it is coming in right behind us.
Right on time.
My goodness.
So every cadet in the United States Coast Guard starts on that ship, and it's just a great way to begin your service, to understand heritage, what the Coast Guard's about, and just the
And every one of these Coast Guardies, these coasties come through, and they are proud of what they do, aren't you guys? We are. Look at that. So this is not just for show. This is for real, where they learn. In fact, the Coast Guard motto is Semper Paratus, which is always be ready, always prepared. They also said their secondary slogan is Semper Gumby, be flexible. So, you know, they've got it all here.
Is that the Latin, Al? John, we talked about your...
Exactly.
Yes, okay. It's right behind us. It's just incredible to see this ship, again, World War II era, and the U.S. took it as war reparations. So it's got this history, but to Al's point, these are working ships. This isn't just history. These are working ships.
These are very, very important ships to foreign navies. Ours is for the U.S. Coast Guard. And boy, you spend one day with these guys, you see how hard they work. And the work is about building leadership. Nothing builds teams better than driving a tall ship. You know, these square sails are tough to put up, tough to douse. The big schooners as well. It all builds teamwork. It all builds a resilience and a determination.
my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, Andrew Zarniak, commander in the U.S. Coast Guard. I chatted with him yesterday about his 6 months that he spent aboard the ship that we're seeing right now, and he still talks very fondly about not just the training, not just the research that's conducted for new coasties, but the brotherhood, the fellowship.
Every day you're spending on there, you're really learning something new, and that tends to bond people together. And understand it's a cycle. There's people coming and going every time. You know, these are on a schedule. They go to school out at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy, and then in the summertime they go away on the ship on different voyages, different legs. It's an amazing experience, especially this year with 250.
Well, we got a beauty coming in next. Libertad from Argentina. This is a showstopper, 184 feet tall. Move over Lionel Messi. This is the pride of Argentina, at least on New York Harbor this morning.
She's a beauty, isn't she? She was built in the 50s during the period of Evita, the Peronist period.
And she gets her moment in the graphic glory as well. There she is. But this is one of the larger boats we'll see today.
It sure is. She's 340 feet long. Length 301. She's probably with the spar. It's extra, and that's bigger than Eagle for sure. But I want to point out these masts can be as high as 14, 15, 16 feet, 16-story buildings. Outstanding, you know, the experience to get on top of one of these things.
We talked earlier about how these ships aren't just working ships, not just military vessels, but also they are ambassadors of sorts themselves. Since her maiden voyage, she's covered more than 800,000 nautical miles, visited about 500 ports, and get this, more than 60 countries as well.
Yes.
We're starting to see the air show that's accompanying this as well. Admiral, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. You just saw the carrier onboard delivery. So that's the cargo aircraft from the Navy, and that was always good news for sailors because that meant mail was coming. And so you got to see that. And then, of course, we just had a couple of C-130Js from our United States Marine Corps, and they do all the logistics, transportation for them. Just an excellent looking aircraft.
It's really a feast for the eyes, the ears. It's, I mean, almost too much to look at right now.
I just keep staring around at everybody. It's unbelievable. That's the Libertad out there. You can see how big she is. Unbelievable. You know, understand these guys are up on those masts. They are having the time of their lives. They've been working so hard, polishing the brass. You know, oh, they're good. Got more up above.
That's right.
Admiral, that's what you were just talking about right there. That's what we're seeing above?
Indeed, that's right. Two KC-130J Marine Corps aircraft, and they can refuel helicopters in the air, all type of logistics. Just versatile and fantastic aircraft that help us on the battlefield.
Well, but the pilots are getting quite the view as well of the tall ships. So much to look at. The southern tip of Manhattan, of course, Statue of Liberty, New York Harbor. Imagine these sailors from Argentina, what must be going through their minds as they are perched atop the mast of the pride of their nation.
La Dama Bianca, that's what she's called, the White Lady.
La Dama Bianca?
Yeah.
Blanca. La Dama Blanca.
Dama Blanca.
Yeah, that's 2 years of college Spanish right there.
Well, I could tell you there was no lack of volunteers to seek people who wanted to fly over New York City for the 250th.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
So many of these ships that we are going to see throughout the morning and afternoon, so many of them speak to the relationship between the United States and some of these particular countries over the last 250 years.
You know, you mentioned I stayed on the Eagle. I was amidst the anchorage out there. You know, all those different vessels that came to rest up there. It was a UN gathering. You know, captains do this thing of they trade caps to each other. So when I took the launch in from the Eagle, we stopped off at the Dominican Republic vessel because the captain of the DR wanted to give the captain of that launch his cap. It goes back and forth. It's very sweet, very heartening to see.
Admiral, as the flyover continues, what can you tell us about these helicopters?
Yeah, you bet. This one's kind of special to me. This is my old platform, the MH-60 Romeo. I think all things anti-ship and anti-submarine warfare. They can go out and find submarines under the sea and also protect the carrier from any type of small ships that get too close. And they've been quite busy in the Red Sea and on the North Arabian Sea. And just right behind them, you see where every student helicopter pilot starts. So these are the T-73s, and think glass cockpit and just world-class training for our young naval aviators. And this also includes Navy, Marine Corps, and all Coast Guard aviators start right there with that helicopter.
And that is Esmeralda, is it not, Don? La Dama Blanca, the white lady, built in 1946. It's a floating embassy for the nation of Chile.
It is indeed. And this is your first nautical lesson. So we just saw a bark. That's the Eagle. Well, we're going to get our graphics here. Exactly. And so this is a barkentine. Okay, so you see the front. Those are the square, the yards, the square rigs on the front, and then in the back is our aft and fore and aft rigging. It's called, and gaff rig sails. So that's a different kind. Interestingly, the Argentinian ship did not have its sails down because there's not enough wind to push those square sails. Whereas the next one, the Esmeralda, has her sails front because they're all schooner sails. They're all gaff rigged, and that can sail closer to the wind, so you can show them off.
And Don, I think I read that the Esmeralda was at the very first operation sail in 1964. She's a veteran. She's done this 5 times before.
Oh yeah, these guys have come around. These ships have been around for a long time, and so they've come in '76 and I believe it's 92 and 96, and so these different tall ships parades have been very exciting, but this is a big one. Their lives.
It's a perfect day for for an event like this too. You know, it's going back to what we were just talking about a few moments ago. The relationship that exists between our country and some of the countries that are being featured. Chile, the first South American country to sign a free trade agreement with the United States.
Yeah, exactly. It's, they call it soft diplomacy. You know, when you show up with one of these ships, it melts your heart. So it expresses a nation's glory in a different sort of way than standard military operations and many other ways. And you come in with one of these ships, and it's a feel-good moment.
By the way, this is not the only Chilean ship named Esmeralda. Apparently, that's a favored name. This is the 6th, but this has got to be the prettiest.
This was a big war win. This is the Esmeralda in the 19th century. There was a major battle. I'm scanning my notes for the name of it, but as a result of this ship that was in there at that time, they have renamed their tall ship the Esmeralda ever since. It means emerald in Spanish. And so there you are, the 6th one of these Esmeraldas, these emeralds.
She's a beauty by any name, that's for sure. Yep. We are just getting started on this epic parade of sail and show in the air for the nation's 250th birthday. Much more to come from New York Harbor live. We're back right after this.
Sailforth 250 is brought to you by Prevagen and by Jefferson's Bourbon, raising a glass to America and the spirit of exploration.
Such a wonderful picture with your beautiful gibberish.
Minions and Monsters, rated PG, in theaters now.
Here's The Scoop, a podcast from NBC News, where Yasmin Vasugian and our NBC News journalists take a deep dive into the day's top stories, bringing you closer to the headlines and conversations shaping our world. From the front page to the zeitgeist. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
Dead Certain, the Martha Moxley murder. All episodes available now.
A beloved high school track star disappears, and the race to find her leads to unlikely suspects, sudden betrayals, and a disturbing search for the truth. 5 miles from home, a podcast from Dateline. Listen now.
I've always been a glass half full kind of guy, and now I'm sitting down with some really fascinating people who see the world the same way as well.
Let's go, baby.
Join us. Your perspective might change too.
Search Glass Half Full with Craig Melvin from today on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast.
NBC News' Steve Kornacki is with us.
Steve Kornacki is here. I love a Kornacki camp.
I'm a numbers guy. That's what I do.
We are here live to bring you all the results.
But I see more than polls and votes. I see patterns and possibilities.
The pattern is unmistakable.
I see the data for what it could decide for everyone. I see a roadmap for where the country is headed. And once you see why it all matters, you can't unsee it.
Now this is interesting.
See it like Steve Kornacki, only on NBC News.
You're really buying a car online on AutoTrader?
Really?
You can really buy the car totally online.
And really have it delivered by a dealership.
Really?
Pizza's here.
Oh.
Admiral, what are we seeing right now?
Yeah, right here on your screen, you can see the Canadian Snowbirds in there last year as a flight demonstration team. They're looking fantastic. You can see the smoke coming from behind them, really representing the iconic CT-114 Tudor aircraft, and they're at their end of their service life, but they're looking good here at the 250th.
Admiral, earlier when we saw the flyover, we saw those French planes trailing red, white, and blue in honor of our big day. You would think that the Blue Angels would have given us the red, white, and blue, but I was told earlier that's not possible. They can't. The Blue Angels can't.
Yeah, it's not their thing. We don't do red, white, and blue. We have our own white smoke, and we're pretty proud of it. So, but I would rack and stack our Blue Angels against them. They're all professionals, of course, but we really like our Blue Angels.
Well, we've got a new ship here now sailing. Colombia's Gloria. This is the Gloria that we are seeing come up behind us right now. What can you tell us about this Colombian
Well, there's
ship?
a really fun fact. You see how they're all lined up on their yards up there, all these cadets. They are very famous for coming into harbors and singing their national anthem together from those perches. And they arrive and they leap into song. That's what it's named after. The Gloria is named after their it refers to their national anthem. So at some point, those guys are going to start singing.
I was thinking, if we're quiet, will we hear them? I don't see their lips moving, but we'll keep our ears peeled. Again, it just tickles you to think about the sight that they're seeing as they enter New York Harbor. We've just got another plane flying overhead it too. So this is really just a lot to absorb.
It is a lot of stuff going on at the same time. It shows you how many people are on those boats, those cadets.
Yeah, and there you see flying overhead a couple of E-2 Charlies, and here's the Navy's trainer jet aircraft. So every future F-18 and F-35 pilot, that's where they begin their journey.
So all F-16, F-18 pilots, they start in those jets?
All the Navy ones. So Air Force is an F-16 platform, but we'd let them fly with us, too, if they wanted to.
I just saw a seagull fly by, and I know that seagull's feeling slightly inadequate today. When you look at what we are seeing, and that's beautiful Colombia. Gloria and her sister, by the way, is coming up from Ecuador. I'd love to hear about the genealogy, the ancestry DNA of these ships, as a lot of them were built at the same time in the same shipyards, and then different countries.
Well,
a lot of them have a lot of history.
And the key is the shipyards. There's only so many places in the world that can build ships this size.
And another flyover as well there, Admiral. I missed that one.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see
there they are.
television. These are the battlefield managers, if you will, from the sky.
One of the things that folks at home probably can't appreciate because of just the uniqueness of our vantage point, how close some of these aircraft seem to fly in formation.
Yeah, you bet. So you know, when you're flying formation, you know, in a loose trail, you might want to, I started talking with my hands. Luckily, I'm not on TV. But so, you know, you're going to be, you know, jets get real close. And, you know, it can be like 20 feet. The Blue Angel's 18 inches. But normally in tactical combat operations, you're not getting that close.
Well, we're looking at Gloria of Colombia, and I love the story about her name. She was the wife of the defense minister, and she apparently really pushed for its construction. So I think she got a big thank you by getting to christen the ship.
Certainly did. As you said before, she's related to the in this parade to the Guayas, which is coming up after, and that's from Ecuador. Built in Spain, in Bilbao, in the 1960s, mid-1960s. There are 4 similar vessels to her, and all those big Latin American vessels are all built in Spain. It speaks to the you know, the tradition of Spanish shipping and shipbuilding.
Okay, Don, are dumb questions allowed this morning? We have a crew of 154 people. Can they all sleep on that?
They sure
ship?
can. I mean, they're split up. You got the quarterdeck is to the stern, and that's where you're seeing the officers' quarters. They call it O Country.
And if the folks on Gloria right now, if they were to look above them right now, Admiral, what do they see?
Yeah, they're looking at a C-17 Global Master. So that is the big wing Air Force plane that brings logistics all over the world for the Navy, Air Force, and the Joint Force to do combat operations. They are the workhorse of the Joint Force.
They do, your question, Savannah, they do separate, you know, the cadets are separated from the officers. You go down the cadets, some of these ships still are sleeping on hammocks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and on your screen right now is, you see what I believe is a Spanish Airbus. They use that as a refueling aircraft.
It's a massive plane.
They are.
It's just so cool right now, the juxtaposition of all of these tall foreign ships with American aircraft oftentimes flying right above them.
I have to say, I think I hear music coming from Gloria right now. I don't know if it's the anthem or they're just got their favorite radio station on.
I believe it is the anthem.
And overhead, we see some jets starting to get the need for speed here.
Yeah, I think what we got here is a couple of German Eurofighter Typhoons. So their contribution to tactical jet aviation. All the different services together for this 200 aircraft is, I think, the biggest on record. This is quite the show. So yes,
the largest show on the sea and in the sky.
That's right. It's the icing on the birthday.
As it should be. America only turns 251.
That's right.
It's incredible to see. Are you getting the idea? The way to identify these ships are through the masts and the sails, and each one of them has a unique profile. What's coming up? The one.
This is the one.
Bautista
Cambioso.
Yeah.
This is from the Dominican Republic.
Now she is a barkentine, I believe. Yes.
What does that mean?
Barkentine is the square rig in the front, right? That foremast is a square rig. You see the yard arms across, and the rest of it though is a schooner. So you got, it's often called a bark schooner. Those the mainmast and the mizzen are fore and aft rigged.
And one of the newer ships we're going to see today was launched in 2009, acquired by the Dominican Republic. But this is her first visit to New York. So imagine to New York, as I believe Taylor says. There, I did it again.
SG, look what we are getting overhead.
Oh, wow.
So here is the bomber force of the United States Air Force. So 3 aircraft. You see the B-2 up front, the B-1 to the left, and of course the workhorse, the B-52, has been around longer than I have flying missions for the United States Air Force. The trifecta of bomber aircraft of the United States Air Force.
That's the stealth bomber, right?
Indeed, the front one, the skinny one.
Yeah, it's just a sight to see. I don't know if I've ever seen one in real life. That's pretty cool.
During my F-18 flight over a few weeks ago, we were actually next to one of those.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it is a sight to behold up close.
And as mentioned, the Juan Bautista Cambiaso of the Dominican Republic, one of the newer ships that we're going to see today, is coming right behind us pretty soon here. Pretty ship. 108 feet tall. It's one of the smaller ones, just 54 crew members, Don.
Yeah, she's only 100 feet. Interesting story behind her. She was originally built in Bulgaria. She was, I guess, for the Black Sea, right? And she is, as I said before, a bark schooner. She's a barkentine, is the other way of saying that. She is named for the hero of the DR who defeated the Haitian Navy in the Battle of Tortuguero, its War of Independence from Haiti in 1844. Very historic for these folks. I was mentioning yesterday that we rolled up next to that in the launch that I was taking from the Eagle, and it was very sweet. All those guys coming to the side to say hi to their fellow countrymen who was driving our boat.
Savannah, you just mentioned that this is her maiden voyage to the Big Apple. She picked a great time to come. Not just America's birthday. She had Taylor and Travis's wedding last night.
The World Cup.
The World Cup is here. The Nixon 5.
Oh my gosh.
What a great time for Juan Bautista Cambiaso.
Get a good slice and it's a perfect trip.
Yeah, there's more from the sea, more from the sky in just a few minutes. But as we head to break now, check out this incredible view of it all. This is from our camera high up the edge. This is high up at the edge here in New York City. A very special edition of today. Sail 4. Right back after this.
When my hair started to thin, I thought, am I going to have any hair left?
After I gave birth, my
Million Americans, one bite can cause a life-threatening reaction. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act.
Problem solved.
Gracias a ustedes, and thank God you're here.
Their consumer problems solved thanks to Better Get Vaquero and Telemundo 47 Responde. A $3.8 million IRS mistake fixed.
I was more like shocked.
$20,000 reimbursed for lost construction supplies.
Gracias a Dios nos respondieron.
Another IRS mistake fixed. IRA problem fixed. Window warranty fixed. Reach out if you need help too. Better Get Vaquero and Telemundo 47 Responde. Together, we're working.
any land space, they're the ones who are going to go get our pilots back if we need help.
Admiral, this is so impressive. This is like a pop quiz on every national and international aircraft, and you're doing great so far.
Well, luckily, we all fly the same helicopters. They're just made for different missions and stuff, so I get a built-in cheat sheet, maybe.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful. Picture-perfect day over southern tip of Manhattan as we sit here on Governor's Island, right off the tip of Manhattan, and of course reflecting on America's 250th birthday, the Declaration of Independence signed in 1776 on this day. And what do we see now, Admiral?
Okay, looking overhead here, we got the United Arab Emirates flight demonstration team, and they're flying the smoke of the red, white, and blue in honor of the nation's 250th. And looking quite professional going by.
Wow.
That is just beautiful.
Yeah, their Air Force is looking good there.
Red, white, and blue right above Lady Liberty. It's just...
As Craig was mentioning before, I mean, the formations are so tight when you're thinking about 5, 6 aircraft in that close quarters, and how they managed to pull that off is just incredible. The talent of these pilots.
They truly are like a professional sports team. The way they prepare, brief, rehearse, and then perform the mission is equitable to like a pro sports team. They are that good.
Right there, the beautiful trail of red, white, and blue that the Jets left, and of course it's like the new and old, and then this magnificent tall ship as well.
There you go.
I think that's why we all got up this morning.
Yeah, there's another shot of the UAE going by.
When we were on the Eagle down in Baltimore, these guys were working out, the Blue Angels over us, doing practice maneuvers.
Yeah, and so that's a great point, is before any air show, this is a flyby, but an air show, they're going to rehearse it 2 or 3 times just in that city because of all the land points and that you have to hit your mark.
We see it here, 3 more.
Okay, here you got to see our U.S. Air Force F-22 and 2 F-16 side by side, demonstrating the Air Force's fighter capability.
Your brothers.
My brother flew the F-16 for 25 years in the military, so I'm glad we're getting to the Need for Speed portion of the flyover. We're going to get to see some great jets, pull some G's right over here.
Well, I call it the sound of freedom.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever your buzzword is.
The sound of freedom.
Where do they go after they're finished? They just keep going to...
Oh, they're going to come back. We had
go to Disneyland.
the bed down at all the airports, you know, extending all the way back to New Jersey, et cetera, is where they all took off from, and a lot of them are just going to head back to D.C. for further air show.
Well, we've got the Guayas on tap here, the pride of Ecuador, as mentioned, sister ship to Gloria, who we saw a few moments ago. More than 350,000 miles traveled, and we've seen a couple times, we've taken some shots of what they call a figurehead at the front of the ship, and this one is special, Don, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Andean condor, which is Ecuador's national bird. It's right on their coat of arms. Oh, that's a beauty, yeah, right there. We've got an eagle on the front of ours, so yeah, it's a commonly done things. One of the largest flying birds on Earth, a wingspan of 10.5 feet. The Guayas is related, as we said, to the previous ship that had gone through.
But it's really the United Nations. Of course, the UN's on Manhattan Island, but to see these tall ships with their flags and the beauty of the vessels and the craftsmanship, it's just absolutely stunning. And I'm thinking it's stealing the show of what America 250 is. There have been some people looking at the National Mall when we're doing the great, you know, kind of county fair there. but due to the heat and some technical problems, it hasn't been quite what it's thought. But the coverage that NBC here is doing in the aerial shots and the beauty of the mast and the flags and the fact that they will be by the Hudson River, which is the great original river of America from the Adirondacks to New York Harbor. And I can't help but just be stunned at the beauty of the backdrop and recall, once again, the tall ships are stealing the show. They stole it in 1976 for the bicentennial, and they've done it again now. This is the event. Just look at that with the Statue of Liberty. And it reminds us that we're not alone in the world. It's not U.S. versus everybody, but countries love us. We cooperate in matters of, naval affairs and military affairs in general. So just whoever came to join us from around the world, it's really special, like Ecuador. Right now, it's good to remember that we've got these, that the Navy can engage in soft power events like this, and so many are willing to come and say, happy birthday, America.
We also just, Admiral, as Douglas Brinkley was debriefing there, we saw the last of the flyovers, I'm told.
Okay, yeah, we just got to see 4 different flights of tactical jet aircraft from our Spanish partners. We just got to see some F-35s from the Netherlands came over as well. So, the Joint Strike Fighter is used by a great many nations.
Got a few more coming, but that's the thing about those jets, they go by fast.
They sure do.
The ships are slow and they savor their moment, and the jets say you blink and you'll miss them.
So here you're getting a look at United States Marine Corps, 2 F-35s and 2 F-18s from our Marine Corps brothers and sisters.
Your plane.
Yep.
That F-18 is a beautiful aircraft.
Okay.
Folks, we are just getting started here. Just getting started. We are going to continue our coverage of Sail Forth.
And that's because the opening of this event has really been delayed from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. So just about now, there will be starting to let people in. But as you can see behind me, the stage is set, but there are many questions about how this event will actually happen, or if it will happen, will it be delayed? We just got a statement from the organizers for Freedom 250 who say that they are actively monitoring the weather situation because, as you mentioned, it's not just the astonishing heat that is impacting the events today, but is also the threat of severe thunderstorms here in the D.C. area over the next couple of hours. There is a severe thunderstorm watch until later on this evening, and that could impact the festivities. There are a lot of questions about whether there might need to be evacuations here if there are large crowds here and there's any sort of lightning as well. So big questions marks right now as we wait to hear President Trump later on this evening. Yasmin.
And again, not sure if you could hear overhead as Gabe was speaking. Now, the Blue Angels flying overhead amidst hot and stormy weather there in D.C. and unpredictable as to what will happen with this Freedom 250 event. Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. There's a lot more to come, including a special edition of NBC Nightly News live from Washington, followed by live coverage here on NBC News Now. For now, we return you to our coverage of Sail Forth.
Yeah. We are back on a Saturday morning. It is 11 a.m. here on Governor's Island, and the Sail Forth 250 event well underway.
We've got the aerial review mostly finished. It has been a spectacular sight in the sky. Hundreds of aircraft from the U.S. and countries around the world flying overhead. in an act of diplomacy and friendship on our nation's birthday. We've got our guides for the morning with us, Don Wildman from the National Maritime Historical Museum, who is teaching us many new vocabulary words this morning, and Vice Admiral John Gumbleton, who has passed his pop quiz on the aircraft of the world very, very well, and historian Douglas Brinkley as well. As we watch, this is the Belle Poule of France. This is one of the older ships we're going to see today, 1932.
1932, she was keel laid down, 1931. Launched 1932.
The 400-year anniversary as well for the French Navy.
Exactly, amazing. This is an unusual ship in this parade because it's a topsail schooner. It's got the square sail in the front, on the top of the foremast there, and the rest of that is gaff rigged. It's modeled on a Icelandic fishing vessel, I believe. Yeah, cod fishing ship of Iceland.
That's the scene on the water. What about
look at in the air. You've got a group of 6 F-18 Echo Foxtrot jets from a Navy air wing flying overhead and looking great. Look how close together they are. And that's not the Blue Angels, right? And you can see them with their tail hooked down as if they were going to land on an aircraft carrier. And as you got to see, just how these young people make it look easy, right? They just bring it down, and to land on that busy piece of steel is amazing. Another glimpse.
The red, white, and blue.
Yeah, here's our Royal United Kingdom partners here. So the Hawk 71 Red Arrows flight demonstration team coming in from the United Kingdom.
So no hard feelings?
None. Oh, wow. They just look fantastic.
What a pretty sight.
Yes.
Good. Wide angle. Wow.
Yeah, that might have been, I think we just saw our 5th flight demonstration team. Think about that, from all over the world coming here for the birthday. It's just a great message.
Well, similar to the ships, these guys are that diplomacy as well.
Quite the juxtaposition there. There's British jets flying over with the French ship sailing beneath. It was almost as if our ex-girlfriend flying over, and of course the